plan based on your personal risk factors, including family history.
Why are annual mammograms so important to surviving breast cancer?
Annual mammograms are what we use as a screening test to look for breast cancer even in women who aren't having any symptoms. For average risk women, this would start at age 40, and it's important because early detection gives you your best chance of survival and the most treatment options. About 99% of women who have breast cancer that is detected early are still alive 5 years after diagnosis.
Are there some specific groups of women who face greater challenges in surviving breast cancer?
Yes, there are. All women should be proactive about their breast health, keeping up with screenings, self-exams, and medical checkups, but some women need to be particularly vigilant. We're seeing breast cancer incidence increase slightly, most notably among younger women. Black and Hispanic women tend to develop more aggressive subtypes of breast cancer, and they tend to be diagnosed with breast cancer when it's more advanced. Although the incidence rates are lower for Black, Hispanic, and Asian American and Native American women than for white women, these minority groups are more likely to die from their breast cancer. This is especially true for Black women. Multiple factors influence survival rates, but the higher death rates can be due to later diagnosis and less access to high-quality treatment.
You can find a doctor who's right for you by visiting freightert.com. Dr. Walker, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thanks, John. Have a great day.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cold tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Tonight, the Bucks are kicking it against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden.
Lillard going to fire up a three. Tees up a beauty from the right wing as he rips the corners from the right wing.
Our coverage of the game starts tonight at 6. We are your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 11:01. I'm Jessica Ty. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, November 8th. Your top story, a hazmat situation at City Hall.
I'm Adam Roberts, in for Greg Matzik, remembering Jonathan Brostoff.
Today, mostly sunny and mild, high of 58, pretty nice. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 43 by the lake, 36 inland. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, night showers, high of 56. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, breaking news in Milwaukee right now, a hazmat situation. There's a large police and fire presence outside of Milwaukee City Hall. City spokesperson Jeff Fleming confirms to WTMJ a suspicious package was sent to the Wisconsin Elections Commission on the 5th floor. They contacted law enforcement, who then evacuated the lower floors on the south side of the building as a precaution. We do have a reporter at the scene right now. We'll bring you updates throughout the show.
Meanwhile, at UW Milwaukee.
Thank you, Jonathan, for the light that you brought into our lives, for the love and the laughter, for showing us what it means to live with purpose and with heart.
Over 1,000 people gathering at the university this morning to honor the life of late 3rd District Alderman Jonathan Brostoff, including County Executive David Crowley.
Jonathan lived with an unwavering purpose, deep compassion, and a relentless dedication to leaving the world a better place than he found it. He dedicated his life to making sure that every voice was heard, that every need was seen, and every person felt valued.
Brostoff was found dead at Greenfield Park from an apparent suicide last weekend, serving as Milwaukee's 3rd District Alderman since 2022 after serving in the Wisconsin Assembly for 7 years. Governor Tony Evers has ordered flags flown at half-staff today in honor of Brostoff.
Confirming a murder-suicide in McWanago. The Waukesha County Medical Examiner finds both 45-year-old Vito Schwartz and 43-year-old Michelle Brown died from a gunshot wound. They concluded Schwartz was murdered and Brown died by suicide. McWanago police arrived at a home near County Highway E and County Highway EE on November 1st. Both were found dead.
We're 3 days out from Election Day, and control of the U.S. House of Representatives is technically still up in the air. The Hill's Michael Schnell reports that's not stopping the current speaker from looking to the future.
Mike Johnson already announcing that he's going to be running for another term as speaker. He sent out a letter to his colleagues this week asking for their support. It's a bit premature because the House still has not been decided yet. And while Republicans, again, are poised to take the majority, not all the votes have been counted and not all the results have been tallied. Right now, he's not facing any challenges, but there are a lot of uncertain and unknown factors. There are folks who before the election said they wouldn't support Johnson. Does that change now that President-elect Donald Trump is going to the White House? There's also the question of, will Trump involve himself?
Should Republicans hold on to control in the House, leadership elections are scheduled for December 13th.
Time for news about your money with the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. We are looking pretty good, but the NASDAQ just changed in the last 30 seconds. NASDAQ is now down. The other two up. The Dow is up nearly 250 points to 43,970. S&P 500 is up 21 points to 5,993. And the NASDAQ just went down. It's down. It's changing even more. Wow. Down 4 points to 19,265. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are on the way next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:05.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey. Riding with you every mile since 1977.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Vince Vitrano here, overjoyed with our new garage door from Lifetime Door Company. Nothing we've ever done to the exterior of our home has more dramatically changed the look for the better. Text door to 855-616-1620. I'll send you the before and after photos. You'll agree this new Made in America garage door is a major upgrade. Time for your upgrade. Tell them Vinny sent you. They'll knock $100 off the cost of your new door, $50 off the cost of a new door opener. Visit the showroom just north of 124th and Burleigh or get started now at lifetimedoor.net.
Looking for a fun family activity to get into the holiday spirit? Visit or volunteer for Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive in Grafton on Saturday, December 7th. The event is free and we will have lots of fun activities. Capco is dedicated to bring communities together and has collected over 300,000 toys through Kids to Kids. Join us and WTMJ for a celebration of giving and bring a new unwrapped toy to help children in need this holiday season. Support Kids to Kids. Visit kidstoKidstoydrive.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks break their losing streak, beating the Jazz 123-100.
Andre Jackson Jr. ties his career high with 4 assists in his first start of the season. Just what head coach Doc Rivers has been looking for.
Playing kind of that connector role. I was wondering how important is it to have connectors when you have 2 top 10 scorers?
That was the other reason that went into starting him. I'm sitting there with my coach. I said, can I have one guy in the lineup that's not trying to score, but knows how to play and get to the right spot? And he did exactly that. He ended up scoring points, but he did it through being a connector. Most of the time, it was phenomenal.
At Fiserv Forum, Dylan Hunter Carter, WTMJ Sports.
Makes me smile. It felt good to watch that win last night. The Bucks are back in action tonight at Madison Square Garden. They're playing the Knicks. Tip-off is at 6:30, and our coverage here on WTMJ starts at 6. Also, both the Packers and the Badgers have a bye this weekend.
Let's look at the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We have a fresh incident right now. It's on 4145. Looks like the ramp exit 51B as you're heading north. That is closed right now due to a crash. I have the camera up from 511. Looks like a car has found its way into the field of grass that's just beyond where the exit turns to the right heading up towards Pilgrim Road. So that has cones up right now, law enforcement vehicles, and a response. It looks like it's just starting right now. So that exit to Pilgrim Road Road, 51B from 4145 north is closed right now due to that crash. Elsewhere on the system, overall, we're all right. The one slow spot's going to be on 94 south from just south of Beecher all the way down to about Oklahoma Avenue, running a couple extra minutes behind.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Help fellow commuters. Report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line. 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Volkswagen during Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny and mild, high of 58. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 43 by the lake, 36 inland. Tomorrow, increasing clouds and some rain showers at night, high of 56. Sunday, mostly cloudy. We do have a chance for showers on Sunday, breezy otherwise, high of 60 on Sunday. Monday, not bad, partly cloudy, high of 58. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 53. It's currently 56 degrees in Milwaukee, 57 in Kenosha, and 52 in Port Washington.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Ty, and in for Greg Metzik, it's Adam Roberts.
Happy Friday, everybody. It always sounds good, but especially after a week like this, a long week for everybody, feels even better.
Yeah, I blinked and it was suddenly the end of the week, and that doesn't happen often. I know they say time flies when you're having fun, and there's good stories, there's bad stories in the news cycle this week, but this is kind of what we do, and so it's just one of those weeks where you come in and you're like, all right, what am I going to report on today?
Well, we hope you're having a fabulous Friday. We have a big show ahead. We talk with a local woman who received one of those racist texts that the FBI is now investigating. We'll also look ahead, of course, to the weather this weekend. We mentioned the Badgers and the Packers have a bye, so people have a little bit more time, right, to get out there and do something. So we'll look ahead to the weekend weather. And are people heading back to the mall for holiday gifts this year? Brick and mortar stores? Are those a thing again?
What?
We're going to check in with ABC's Jim Ryan. But first.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, a local woman says she received one of the racist text messages being investigated by the FBI. Right now, federal law enforcement and intelligence agencies are looking for the source of these racist messages. They were sent to people across the country. Arjoy Burris in Milwaukee says she got one yesterday.
Said, good morning, Arjoy Burris. Our 2024 presidential-elect Donald J. Trump has scheduled you for the weekend cotton picking shift from 11/9/24 to 11/10/24, from 12 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at Plantation A. Be prepared and ready to pick diligently. That was like cotton picking.
Yeah, wow. We're going to hear more from Perez coming up at noon. I talked with her this morning. She told me the text. I was like, where did the text come from? Can you actually see the number? And she said, yeah, let me look. And she went back to the text. It's a 510 area code. I looked that up. That's California. And there is a company called Text Now that allows people to create phone numbers for free. That company says it's aware of these messages and says it's shut down the accounts of those involved. But people in about a dozen states, maybe more, as we find out more as the days go on here, receive these text messages, including kids.
Number 2, a dangerous close call at a Kenosha elementary school, and we're still learning more this morning. Investigators say a 13-year-old showed up to his former elementary school, that's Roosevelt, carrying a suspicious black duffel bag they believed contained a gun. The suspect then entered the front entrance after trying to open several locked doors on the side of the building. Soon after that, a staffer noticed him, tried to stop him, and that is when he fled the scene. The boy ultimately arrested before the school day was over. Kenosha Police Chief Patrick Patton, after it happened.
We narrowly missed a tragedy today.
The boy who was arrested, a student at Mahone Middle School. Kids at Roosevelt not in school today. It was an already scheduled day off, so it was not added to the schedule. It's just a coincidence.
Number 3, final goodbyes today for a beloved Milwaukee alderman. Family, friends, and colleagues paid their final respects this morning to Eastside Alderman Jonathan Brostoff. His death is being investigated as a suicide. The 41-year-old served in the state assembly for 8 years before being elected to the Milwaukee Common Council 2 years ago. And Adam, I know you were at the services this morning.
Yeah, I knew.
It had to be just crushing.
I knew Alderman Brostoff in a professional sense for the last 2 years, and then we would talk a lot off the record about he was very passionate about pedestrian safety. You see bike lanes. As a biker, every single day, we bonded over that. Not quite 1,500, but over 1,000 people attending the ceremony at UW Milwaukee today. A lot of stories shared, including one that stood out to me. Jessica, you know the city has its issues with carjackings. It's not going away and has been around for some time. And one of Jonathan's friends shared this story I found particularly poignant.
One time he told me he was carjacked. A guy came in with, I don't remember if it was a knife or what, and he just started talking to the guy and drove him home. Just let him out and have a good day.
His nickname was the Honey Badger in the state legislature and in City Hall, and not for no reason. He got stuff done, and he was very fierce whenever position he held. Jonathan Brostoff died earlier this week, death being investigated by the medical examiner's office as a suicide.
Flags are flying at half-staff across the state of Wisconsin today in honor of the aldermen. We're coming up at 11:15.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here. Join me every Saturday at 1 for Experience Wisconsin. I love it. We check in with businesses, organizations, communities across our state, bringing you some of the really cool stuff that's happening. This week, it's going to be good. Visit Lake Geneva.
Rent everything there is so reasonably priced. And you don't have to stay at the Grand Geneva to ski there.
And the White Lace Inn. That's a special place. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Dave from Feldco. Did drafty windows make last winter frigid? Listen, Feldco's here to make things easier for you. It's the perfect time of year to replace those old windows. Right now, get 50% off windows plus no money down and no interest for 1 year. Visit us at 4feldco.com or give us a call at 866-4Feldco.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4Feldco.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cold tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
Holiday spending is expected to reach a record this year, but it's where and how we'll spend our money that interests retailers. ABC's Jim Ryan returns to us on this Friday. Jim, are people really heading back to malls? Are brick and mortars a thing again?
Well, yeah, kind of. At least if you read some of the surveys out there, a communications platform called Theatro has commissioned a survey, and it shows that indeed 26% of shoppers plan to do more of their shopping in person this year than they did last year. Does that mean they'll be spending more time in the mall than online? No. About 54% they'll say they'll have their typical mix of in-person and online shopping. So it's not all one, it's not all the other. Folks are going to mix it up a bit this year.
Do we know why people are heading back again?
Well, the same survey shows that about 64% of shoppers said they want to see and touch the item before they buy it. 32% like the festive atmosphere, the lights and the decorations and the candles and the Santa Claus. No, that 34% like being able to easily return items if they don't work, they don't fit, or they're ugly.
Okay, I'm right there with you. I like that. I like the festive mood. I think it gets you in the festive spirit as long as the lines aren't too long and as long as you can find what you need. How about you, Jim? Do you like to go in there and have that festive spirit? Do you like to touch things, or would you rather just do it online and get it done like that?
Well, it depends. If I'm getting something for myself, I have never bought a pair of shoes online that fit, ever.
Yeah.
Going into the store, trying them on, making sure they fit, great. And first time, every time. So, yeah, that's nice. But, I mean, there is the convenience as well. I've got a brother who lives in California, and I'm going to send him a birthday gift here in the next few days. I'm not going to buy something and ship it myself. I'm going to go ahead and order it online and have it sent to his house, right? Works out pretty well. So I think, it depends upon what you're looking for. But the closer you get to the holidays, and once Thanksgiving comes and goes, and we've got a late Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah.
Then that's sort of the festivity of it all kind of sets in, especially if you're old enough to remember a time when you didn't have the internet and you had to go to a department store or a shopping mall.
So how much are we expected to spend on the holidays this year, and what does that all cover?
Well, yes, $902 is the average. $902 according to the National Retail Federation per shopper. I mean, for a lot of folks, it's going to be a lot more than that. For some, it'll be less. About $641 is gifts for family and friends and coworkers, others. That's up from about $620 last year. The rest of it, the $261 will be spent on food and decorations and candy and greeting cards, things that come with the holidays that you're not buying to give to somebody else in terms of a gift.
So this is looking to be a record year for spending. Some people might say, well, of course we're going to spend more. Prices are so high. Is that what this is about, or is it something else? Are we more generous this year?
Well, these numbers from the National Retail Federation are inflation weighted, right? They take inflation into account. So, and I think the whole thing is surprising because if we feel that prices are going up and we feel kind of that economic pressure, we're probably not going to spend as much on shopping for the holidays. And yet the NRF, the Federation, the Retail Federation says we are somehow.
Does it change depending on your age where you're going to shop for holiday gifts?
Well, that doesn't show up in this survey, but I think you're right. I think that, if you're older and you do remember a time when you used to go to the department store or, go to, let's say you go to Mayfair or out to Bayshore Mall or somewhere instead of jumping online. Probably those older folks who remember that are feeling more nostalgic and might be more inclined to try to relive that a bit or to introduce their kids or their grandkids to it. So, it's just anecdotal, and that's kind of what I suspect, but I think probably it's true.
You just threw out Bayshore and Mayfair, two of our big ones here. Are you telling me that during the RNC, when you were here in Milwaukee, you got a little time to sneak away? No way.
Very little. I went out that Saturday morning, got a haircut, right?
And, you did?
Yeah, and that's when the assassination attempt happened in Pennsylvania. So suddenly, my little plans for a retail excursion were gone.
Did you go to Mr. Dino's to get your haircut at Mayfair?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Jim. I know you had a long week, as everybody did in media, so I hope you have a fabulous weekend.
You too. Thanks, Jessica.
ABC's Jim Ryan. I had to ask him about Mr. Dino's because he mentioned Mayfair, so he knows. I mean, he knows our local malls, and Mr. Dino's is in Mayfair. And, it's a pretty good haircut at a pretty good price, I'm told.
I do love that Jim was so straight to the point. No.
Didn't you wonder where he went?
Yeah, a little bit.
Time ran out, I guess. Well, what will the weekend hold weather-wise? We're going to check in with TMJ4 meteorologist Tyler Moore next. It's 11:22.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment and National Fire Sprinkler Association. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know, accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richlands Tire and Service Centers.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
It is 11:24 on this Friday morning. Everybody's looking ahead to the weekend, and for a change, on Sunday, we don't have a Packers game. What are we going to do?
Well, we're not going to watch college football the day before because the Badgers are also on a bye. So I think I heard Spalding this morning on Wisconsin's Morning News say this is the ultimate honey-do list weekend. There's no distractions. Baseball's done. Football, no. Technically, there is Bucks basketball, which you can kind of finagle, but that's later. So, yeah.
No, I think it's a 2:30 game on Sunday.
All right, fellas, that's your excuse. Latch onto it. I got to see them get their third win of the season here in early November. So
I was at the game last night, and I got to tell you, I was really happy to get the W because we are better than what it was before we got the W last night, the 1-6 record.
Mm-hmm.
As a team, we're better than that. But when you keep seeing, and if you're not going to the games all the time, if you're not watching the games all the time, you just hear loss after loss after loss. For the fans, it's a little rough. And we're a better team than what the record showed. So I'm just kind of happy to get that win. And we've got some tough games coming up here, but it's a start.
So if you were in the arena, what was the crowd energy like? Because I always wonder with these early season games where we hear all the time, oh, the regular season doesn't matter. Or, oh, it doesn't matter. They play 82 games. Call me when the playoffs start. What was the energy like considering that and the fact that we've gotten off to such a slow start?
Well, I would say last night it was a little bit lower than usual.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there were as many fans in the seats last night.
Okay.
Having said that, it was really cool what the Bucks did last night because they were honoring military members, and it was a theme that they had throughout the game. And so the halftime show involved military members, and they had numerous people who stood up, and we got to stand up and thank them for their service. So that has to do not with the game at hand, but that was a really nice moment that was just kind of a thread throughout the game, and a really cool thing for the Bucks to do. There was actually a military swear-in ceremony.
Really?
During halftime, too, which I've never seen before. And I thought, wow, what an experience for them to have that moment and in front of all the people there for the Bucks game.
Yeah, I know that teams oftentimes will have things that, you bring up and try to engage the crowd as you go on through the quarters, but I've never heard of a military swearing-in ceremony. That's very interesting.
At the game, yeah. TMJ4 meteorologist Tyler Moore must have gotten taken away. So you know what? Let's just give you the forecast right now.
What
do you have
Jessica?
Coming out? Well, tonight... Well, today we got mostly sunny and mild, high of 58. That's not bad for a Friday, right? Tonight, mostly clear. But here's the thing. Saturday and Sunday, we've got rain in the forecast, so be prepared for that. Increasing clouds on Saturday. And then the rain comes in at night tomorrow, high of 56. We also have a chance for rain on Sunday, mostly cloudy otherwise and breezy, high of 60 on Sunday. Then as we look ahead to the upcoming work week, partly cloudy on Monday, high of 58. Tuesday, mostly sunny and a high of 53. Those temps aren't bad for November.
Yeah, someone was asking on the talk and text line if there was any sign of a major cold snap. I know it's been very warm, but you just ran through those temperatures, and I don't plan on putting on a heavy jacket hearing any of those numbers.
I did bring a winter jacket, but it's not a heavy one. Sometimes taking the dog out late at night or early in the morning, especially downtown with the wind, it's a little brisk.
Yeah, I bike in every morning. I have to wear a jacket because I ride downhill to get here to the station downtown, and so the wind is already coming, and then it's 40 degrees. I have no choice. So
you got a new bike, too.
I did get a new bike.
Rolling in on that new bike. Looks nice.
Thank you.
Time right now is 11:27. Stay close. Up next, you have your top local headlines and national news as well.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Don't miss Fox World Travel's Black Friday offers available now. Let our vacation experts help you choose the perfect all-inclusive resort or cruise to escape the cold with exclusive deals up to 78% off from partners like Apple Vacations, Delta Vacations, Princess Cruises, or Celebrity Cruises. Don't miss out. These huge but limited Black Friday offers are only available with promo code Black Friday. Visit foxworldtravel.com to DIY online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO today.
It's 11:30 on the dot. I'm Jessica Ty. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, November 8th. Your top story: charges filed connected to an attempted school shooting.
I'm Adam Roberts, explaining the Milwaukee swing.
Here's a look ahead at your forecast. Today, mostly sunny and mild. We have a high of 58. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 43 by the lake, 36 inland. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, and we do have a chance for showers at night, a high of 56.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. 3 men have been charged in an alleged Iranian plot to assassinate President-elect Trump, according to law enforcement sources telling ABC News. Authorities say one suspect remains at large, and the suspects were allegedly hired by someone they met in prison. The president-elect announced his first major appointment for his second administration, naming his campaign co-chair Susie Wiles to become his chief of staff. She will also become the first woman to serve in that position. ABC's Rachel Scott is in West Palm Beach, Florida.
We are told that as part of this agreement to accept this role as chief of staff, Susie Wiles wanted to make certain that she could still play the role of gatekeeper, keeping some oversight over who has control or who is going into the Oval Office, trying to avoid some of the chaos that we saw in the first administration.
In Southern California, offshore winds are expected to ease a bit today as fire crews continue to battle the mountain fire. It's charred over 20,000 acres in a matter of days and destroyed more than 200 structures. This is ABC News.
We're on top of breaking news here in Milwaukee, a hazmat situation at Milwaukee City Hall. There's a big police and fire presence there right now. City spokesperson Jeff Fleming tells WTMJ a suspicious package was sent to the Wisconsin Elections Commission, which that's on the 5th floor. They contacted law enforcement, who then evacuated the lower floors on the south side of the building just as a precaution. We'll keep you updated on the breaking news.
We're learning more information also this morning on a 13-year-old Kenosha student who was charged with one count of terroristic threats for allegedly bringing a gun to his former elementary school with the intention of a shooting. In a statement released just a few minutes ago from Kenosha police, they say in an interview with the suspect, they claim to have gone to the school to sell candy. The student, a male, later told a social worker he went to the school with the intent to scare students. And again, that student is in custody this morning.
Wisconsin GOP leaders say they're ready to set up a new agenda in Madison come January. Wisconsin State Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says while bipartisanship was found during the last legislative session, this year may be more difficult.
The last session, we did a lot in a bipartisan way, but the campaigns that the Democrats ran were literally tens of millions of dollars of lies, innuendos, and negative attacks on our members. So I think there's an awful lot of folks who are going to have to take a second look and say, how are we going to find a way to work together? And of course, we will try.
The start of the next session is January 6th.
Meanwhile, Milwaukee absentee votes decided the Wisconsin U.S. Senate race in favor of Democratic incumbent Tammy Baldwin. TMJ4 chief political reporter Charles Benson tells WTMJ the delayed response of Milwaukee's absentee votes has a name. It's called the Milwaukee Swing.
Absentee ballot, the central count vote comes in. The election swings, and it did in 2020, and it did in 2024 in the U.S. Senate race.
The swing was strong enough for Wisconsin to vote for President Biden back in 2020. It was not strong enough this year, which allowed President-elect Trump to win the race.
A WTMJ exclusive, emotional and overwhelmingly sad. That's how the president of Leinenkugel Brewing describes the decision by Molson Coors to close the 157-year-old brewery in Chippewa Falls.
Tony Buger is a sixth-generation Leinenkugel. As the brewery president, he had to tell the Chippewa Falls employees that their jobs are disappearing.
Somber, emotional, really tough. It was hard to be a part of, really hard.
Buger tells me it's more than a building that's closing. It's a chapter in history.
Our entire family has grown up with this brewery, and its history and the legacy has meant everything to us.
John Merkier, WTMJ News.
Higher electric bills could be coming to We Energy's customers in the near future. The Wisconsin Public Service Commission approving rate increases slightly lower than what the utility company originally sought. Residential customers can expect a typical bill to cost $8 or $9 more per month next year and between $9 and $10 more in 2026. We Energy's had sought a rate hike that would amount to around $12 more per month. That decision comes after months of pushback from consumer advocates like the Citizens Utility Board.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Sonny Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
You sound unprofessional. You sound like you're from the UP. You sound like a couple of dopey farmers. Oh, the comments we've had.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
We don't want to sound like everybody else. We don't want to sound super professional. We want to sound like who we are, and this is who we are.
You know, we want to have good furniture, makes for a happy customer for a long time. At the same time, we want to have good employees. We want to support the local craftsmen so they can support their families and their communities. Like us or hate us, it's what we do.
PennyMustard.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from Three Pillars resident Lola.
I had seen a lot of retirement places. In a minute, I drove into the driveway coming into Three Pillars. I was sold. The grounds are just beautiful. The management are just incredibly kind people. That mood permeates the atmosphere to me, whether it's the staff, the people that's serving in the restaurant, and the residents themselves. It's just a lot of caring, kind people.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
I am trying to spread the word. Elders do not have to lose everything at the end of life paying for nursing care or assisted living.
Dan Kraus from Kraus Estate Planning and Elder Law Center.
If you have assets over $150,000, it often makes sense to work with an experienced elder law attorney to save as much as possible from the devastating cost of nursing care for your security, for your family.
Contact Dan at Kraus Estate Planning and Elder Law Center today. SaveMomsAssets.com.
Let's talk sports right now. Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks break their losing streak. Yes, beating the Jazz 123-100.
Andre Jackson Jr. ties his career high with 4 assists in his first start of the season. Just what head coach Doc Rivers has been looking for.
Playing kind of that connector role. I was wondering how important is it to have connectors when you have 2 top 10 scorers?
That was the other reason that went into starting him. I'm sitting there with my coach. I said, can I have one guy in the lineup that's not trying to score, but knows how to play and get to the right spot? And he did exactly that. He ended up scoring points, but he did it through being a connector most of the time. It was phenomenal.
At Fiserv Forum, Dylan Hunter Carter, WTMJ Sports.
The Bucks are back in action tonight at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. Tip-off is at 6:30 tonight, and our coverage here on TMJ starts at 6 p.m. Both the Packers and the Badgers have a bye this weekend.
Taking a look at the roads, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We've got two new crashes we want to update you on 94 right now. One is on 94 West at Hawley Road. That's blocking the right shoulder over there. The other one is on the exit to 35th Street from 94 East. So that's right as you are rounding the corner and heading towards downtown. That is also closed due to a crash. That one in just a few minutes ago. Also still working on that earlier crash on 4145 North at Pilgrim Road in Waukesha County due to a crash where a vehicle had jumped over into the field. They've now gotten that vehicle back out of the field, but it's now on the exit, so you're not able to exit there at this time. The rest of the system overall is looking okay. Just a little slow spot on 94 South from Beecher down to Oklahoma, running a few extra minutes behind.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny and mild, high of 58. We're almost there. We're at 56 right now. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 43 by the lake, 36 inland. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, and we will see some rain tomorrow night, high of 56. Sunday, mostly cloudy, chance for showers on Sunday as well. Breezy otherwise, high of 60 on Sunday, high of 58 on Monday, partly cloudy. Tuesday, the sun returns, mostly sunny on Tuesday, a high of 53. It's now 11:39. Fans up at Lambeau Field on Sunday saw more than just highlights and stats up on the scoreboard. During the game, there were also ads for the Green and Gold movie. The film features actor Craig T. Nelson, and it was filmed right here in Wisconsin.
How much do we owe the bank?
You farm like it's the 1800s.
We just need a little bit of grace. I think he's blind to the fact that family farms are on the endangered species list.
Jenny, we gotta save the farm.
I don't know why we keep doing this.
Because it's the right thing.
So where do the Packers come in? Well, without giving it all away, we don't want to do that. Let's just say the deal to save the farm involves the Pack. The director of Green and Gold, Anders Lindwall, joined us here in Wisconsin's Midday News last month to give us a scoop on the movie and give us just a bunch of behind-the-scenes tales. We loved it. And he is back with us today because there are some big updates. Anders, I got so excited when I saw the ad at the Packers game. This is getting real, isn't it?
It's getting real. That's a great way to say it. It feels that way. More and more, it's like, these things start off as like an idea in your head, and then every little step of the way, it's like, this is happening. I think this is happening. So, it's been a really, really cool month since we last chatted.
So when we talked to you last, you were just about to premiere the movie at 2 major film festivals. What's happened since?
Yeah, so the two film festivals we showed in was, the first one was Heartland International Film Festival, which is based in Indianapolis, and we ended up taking 3 awards at that film festival, which was beyond kind of our wildest hopes going into it. And, it's an Academy qualifying film festival, so the quality of content there, it's not just like your local film festival. Like it's a legit film festival, and it was just super affirming, and we got the Audience Choice Award there, was the one that we were most excited about, because it means your film is connecting with audiences. Like, these are the people who are just randomly coming and looking at a bunch of movies. They respond to this. And we ended up going from there into Austin Film Festival, which is another Academy qualifying film festival, and also took the Audience Choice Award at Austin. And so kind of those back-to-back wins were just, it just blew a lot of life into the cast and crew's sales, where we work on this thing for, 4 years, and you show it, and it's like, people are watching it and loving it. Like, it's connecting with something on a human level there, which is really, really beautiful.
That is awesome. That's got to feel so good. That award of all of the awards. So some news also about one of the stars in the movie, actor Craig T. Nelson. He's going to be up at Lambeau soon as part of all this.
He is, yeah. He's going to be singing the national anthem at the Packers-Bears game, which is the last game of the season. That's either January 4th or 5th. And he's going to be singing it in his farmer's uniform, or his farmer's outfit from the film. And yeah, we were just so excited. We pitched that idea to the Packers, And initially, they're like, can he sing? And I was like, I think he can. And, he's the voice of Mr. Incredible, so I'm sure he can sing.
So that was
sure enough,
I was going to say, that was my question is, how do we know if he can sing the national anthem? Because that's a big stage to be on in front of 80,000 people. I've had trouble singing the national anthem at high school football games when I was a kid. I can't imagine that kind of pressure.
Yeah, it's funny. They actually requested an audition from him. And, I called Craig. He's 80 years old now. And I was like, Craig, I need you to do an audition. He's like, this is the first time anybody's asked me to audition since Coach started.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so I mean, at that point in that level in your career, people, you don't have to audition for things. They just say, "Hey, are you interested in this project? Do you like it? Read it." And but the Packers, fair enough, they wanted to know if he could sing, so he ended up, having to do an audition, but he passed the test.
He passed the test. I don't know. I think we might have to request that tape from you, his audition tape. That would be fabulous to see.
It's pretty good.
Okay, so a lot of people know actor Craig T. Nelson from Coach. I mean, huge name, has been around for a long time. But one of the other big names in this is becoming a bigger and bigger star. Who's that?
Yeah, so his name is Brandon Sklenar, and when we cast him, he had he'd been in some smaller stuff, but nothing like that anybody would really like call him out on the street and recognize him from. And then the poor guy, he was driving around in Wisconsin in a Buick LeSabre, us paying him pennies, just to keep his career going. And he went right from our show into the series 1923, the Yellowstone TV series. And, he had actually texted me when I was still filming our film in Wisconsin, and he said, dude, I got the role. And he went from that to co-starring with Blake Lively in the movie It Ends With Us. He's the romantic lead in that film as well, which just blew up in the last 2-3 months here. So, he keeps his career continues to go on the upward trajectory, and we're just so excited for him. For us as indie filmmakers to pick somebody, because we don't have budget we can't pay stars to do this. So, Craig came out on a benevolent effort. And then Brandon, was a rising star, and we hit him at the right point, and we're just so proud of him and excited for him and his career.
That is, I just love hearing the inside stories behind this, because here's a guy who people didn't really know, and now these movies, as you said, have blown up. They're incredibly popular, and who knows what lies ahead for him. I mean, maybe at some point he'll have a name like we often think about Craig T. Nelson. So that's just fantastic. We're talking with Anders Lindwall, who is the director of Green and Gold. It's a movie that we told you about last month that has to do with the Green Bay Packers and saving the farm, and is just very Wisconsin. Eventually, the public, Anders, will get to see this movie in theaters. Mm-hmm. What's the latest on that? Where are people going to be able to see it, and when?
Yeah, so we're going to be in 1,000 theaters nationwide, which again for us as indie filmmakers it's like I have to pinch myself, and I can't believe this. But yeah, we're mostly concentrated in the Midwest and the South, and alongside the Packers, one of our other bigger. The reason we're able to do that is because we got the film in front of Culver's, and they watched the film. They have a big Thank You Farmers project. They looked at it and said, we love the spirit of what this is. This is like everything from a values perspective that our brand aligns with, and we really want to share in this and help blow it up with you guys. So they're helping us get into all these theaters. So we're going to be in 1,000 theaters nationwide. January 31st is our launch date, and that first. This is like my plea as a filmmaker to the audience, is like that first weekend is so crucial to our success or failure. We're competing on that level. It's like you're competing against blockbuster, $100 million movies, and our puny little movie that we made on our family and friends budget is, we're like in there. And so the vote, it's basically like casting your vote. It's like, what kind of stories do you guys want to listen to and be a part of? And for us, we're calling on the Midwest and be like, show up to the theaters, help us keep doing more of these. So.
Well, that is great. And don't call it a puny movie, because it's big. It's already winning big major awards, and we're really excited about it. So in 1,000 theaters nationwide, coming up early next year. That's going to be great. Thank you so much, Anders. We'll keep in touch, and we'll get more updates soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again. Fun to talk to you.
Thank you. Signing Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:47.
Why trust Grandview Homes to buy your home? It's simple. We make the home selling process fast, easy, and stress-free, even if your home is less than perfect. No real estate agents, no repairs, no cleanouts needed. Leave the mess and the stress to us. At Grandview Homes, we live and work in your neighborhoods. Our reputation is built on 15 years treating sellers with the dignity and respect they deserve. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Rose and Roses Spas, Hot Tubs, Cold Tubs, and Swim Spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Where the heck is everybody?
Beg your pardon?
I'm at your store and...
Yes?
Nobody's here.
That's because Hassellus mattress showrooms are employee-free. Take your time and test our selection of Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, Serta Perfect Sleeper, and more without commission-crazy salespeople breathing down your neck.
Yeah, sure, you say that, but come on.
What?
Where the heck is everybody?
Hassellus really is employee-free.
Okay.
So we can sell mattresses for way less, like the Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove B Queen. Others sell it for $12.99, but Hassellus has it for $8.42. Plus, check out our super low pricing on Sealy Posturepedic, Serta Perfect Sleeper, and more.
Yes, but...
And through Monday, get an extra $248 credit just for shopping local.
Well, that's great, but I just have one question.
What's that?
Where the heck is everybody?
Open 9 to 9. Find an honest-to-goodness, employee-free showroom near you at Hassellus.com. Hassellus, employee-free since 2014.
After a long week, enjoy a cocktail and great fish fry at the award-winning Fox and Hound Supper Club. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free. WTMJ's John Mercure here with the fall colors here. The drive through the Connemara Forest to the Fox and Hounds is magical. I mean, it's super special. Enjoy a tender steak, beef short ribs, pasta dishes, seafood, even the steak and lobster, prime rib on Saturdays. Your second dinner is free. Desserts and ice cream drinks. This is a special treat. Buy one, get one free. Relax with an old-fashioned, a bourbon, a Manhattan. Choose from 100 wines, ice-cold beer, and check it out in one of their 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive for your free dinner and witness the breathtaking fall colors. The Friday, all you care to eat fish fry is one of the best, and the Sunday brunch is magnificent. All you can eat for kids, grandkids under 3, eat for free. Escape from your kitchen tonight. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Your WTMJ forecast today, mostly sunny and mild, high of 58. It's currently 56. Tonight, mostly clear. We'll dip down to 43 degrees by the lake, 36 degrees inland. Tomorrow, increasing clouds and be prepared for rain, but enjoy the day because that rain should come at night. High of 56 tomorrow, high of 60 on Sunday, mostly cloudy, but we do have a chance for showers on Sunday as well. Breezy otherwise.
It's 11:51 on Wisconsin's Midday News. Adam Roberts filling in for Greg Matzik alongside Jessica Ty. Before we get to Week in Review, I want to get you abreast on a situation we're following right now downtown Milwaukee, a hazmat situation near City Hall that has blocked off streets. Just a few moments ago, Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky, as well as Milwaukee Elections Commissioner Paulina Gutierrez, holding a press conference. We're expecting that audio shortly. Should have it for you here on the top of the hour news coming up. Does appear at least as though right now the situation is under control. We were confirmed earlier this morning from the city that a suspicious package was sent to the Wisconsin Elections Commission on the 5th floor. They then evacuated the lower floors of City Hall as a precaution. But again, a press conference held just a few moments ago with city officials, so we expect to learn more information here in the coming minutes. It is, of course, Friday, and that means it's time to go over all the stories we covered this week right here on WTMJ. And Jessica, there were a lot. This is, like I mentioned at the start of the show, one of those weeks where it's all going to come at you. We've got an election. We've got the closure of an icon in Chippewa Falls. Remembering the life of a Milwaukee alderman. So many things to get to. And this is a long Week in Review this week, so let's get right to it. Our Week in Review brought to you, as always, by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Love, it's picked up. Now rolling out for the first time, and he throws an interception. It's picked off all the way down and scoring for the Lions. It's Joseph. What the hold it! Here I come to save the... Nope. And this kick is up. And no.
Not this time.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we have some breaking news. The Milwaukee Archdiocese announcing a new archbishop.
Hello, everyone. Bishop Jeffrey Grob here.
Jeffrey Grob has served as an auxiliary bishop of the Archdiocese of Chicago since 2020.
I look forward to listening intently and actively learning more about this local church.
A Milwaukee alderman dies by suicide. Sources confirmed to WTMJ that Alderman Jonathan Brostoff died at Greenfield Park.
Jonathan lived with an unwavering purpose, deep compassion, and a relentless dedication to leaving the world a better place than he found it.
River Hills police are continuing to search for men who burglarized the home of Bucks forward Bobby Portis.
What's good, Milwaukee?
And Portis is offering a cash reward for information that leads to the return of his belongings.
Love.
Election Day is finally here.
Buckle up, buckaroo!
Decision Wisconsin, the polls are open in the state.
Battleground Wisconsin catching the eye of many across the country on this election day.
Here in West Allis, at one of the polling places, it seems to be rolling along pretty smoothly.
At midday in Elm Grove, there's been a steady stream of voters since the polls opened.
53% of the voters in this village have already cast a ballot.
A massive recount effort underway in Milwaukee County. 30,000 absentee ballots are in the process of being recounted after an issue was found with a voting machine.
We're going to zero them all out again, the 13 machines around, and then rerun the ballots.
I want people to RELAX.
ABC is now projecting that President Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which would put him over the 270 mark.
With his family beside him on stage, former President Donald Trump repeated the campaign themes that brought him here.
This is a magnificent victory for the American people.
We must accept the results of this election.
We all get knocked down, but the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up.
In Madison, Senator Tammy Baldwin delivering a victory speech this morning, declaring a win over challenger Eric Hovde.
I want to say thank you to the people of Wisconsin for putting their trust in me to continue to be their fighter in Washington, D.C.
This just into our newsroom is breaking news. Sources tell WTMJ Molson Coors is recommending the closure of the historic Leinenkugel's brewery in Chippewa Falls.
Leinenkugel tells WTMJ none of his family was made aware of or counseled on the decision.
Tony Buger is a sixth-generation Leinenkugel. As the brewery president, he had to tell the Chippewa Falls employees that their jobs are disappearing.
Somber, emotional, really tough. It was hard to be a part of.
Hurricane Rafael has now become a Category 3 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 115 miles per hour.
The future of Hurricane Rafael, its track, its intensity, and its lifespan is uncertain as it moves away from Cuba.
One of the two suspects in the death of a toddler from Two Rivers making his preliminary court appearance this afternoon.
He would prompt victim child one what to say, such as, sorry, mommy, good boy, no more, I don't want to live at Uncle's house anymore.
The Milwaukee County Board has unanimously approved a plan to reimagine the Mitchell Park domes.
The ultimate goal would make the domes financially self-sustaining, giving control of the historic conservatory to friends of the domes.
There are limitations that keep the domes from being able to generate more in revenue than they have in expenses.
Breaking news in Kenosha, a school shooting thwarted. Police confirmed that 13-year-old Mahoney Middle School student tried to enter Roosevelt Elementary School.
We can confirm that we received at least one video depicting the suspect holding what we believe is a firearm.
Kenosha Unified School District Superintendent Dr. Jeff Weiss thanking staff
who bravely stopped the individual and asked questions that caused the individual to question their choices and flee.
Police in the Netherlands have arrested dozens of people after an Israeli and Dutch leader condemned attack on Israelis attending a soccer match in Amsterdam.
What happened last night is not a protest. It was crime.
Bucks snapping out of a 6-game losing streak. Standing ovation. It's been a long time coming for this Bucks team. A lot longer than we've ever been accustomed to around these parts.
What a week, eh?
Big Chungus Elementary.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Thank you for honoring him with me today. And lastly, knock if you buck.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here, along with producer of Wisconsin's Morning News, Greg Pancake Hill.
Join us as we kick off the Trivia Showdown competition where you can play trivia against or with your favorite WTMJ personalities like us.
We'll be at Cafe Hollander in Wauwatosa Wednesday, November 13th, kicking off the Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive.
Trivia starts at 7. We will see you at Cafe Hollander in Tosa Wednesday, November 13th, presented by Quizmaster Trivia.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about Accunet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good Karma brand station.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Numbness, tingling in the hands, arms, legs, feet. Time to go see Dr. Alex Young and my team at Connect Chiropractic. Regular chiropractic care can bring life-changing results for folks who suffer from neuropathy and fibromyalgia, nervous system issues that can be corrected, and no worries about twisting, cracking, or popping. The docs at Connect Chiro use all the same method, a special tool that is pain-free and effective for your adjustments. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa or get started online at goconnectchiro.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. We've all got a story about regretting a paint color choice. Let the pros help you. Your neighborhood CertaPro painter can help you with color consultation services. They're the real deal. They've done the painting at my house. They know what they're doing. They're friendly, they're efficient, and they're affordable. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Free estimates, reliable communication, professional painting at the right price. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
Quality roofing, siding, and window manufacturers offer extremely solid warranties.
But you have to make sure that the contractor you hire will outlast them and be there to support you. Right, Dad?
Hi, I'm Randy Miller from All Right Home and Remodeling. You can trust that our second generation,
third generation,
fourth generation,
family-owned company will be here for you and your children and their children.
And their children's children.
Learn more at ALLRITE remodeling.com.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Tonight, the Bucks are kicking it against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden.
Lillard going to fire up a three. Tees up a beauty from the right wing as he rips the cords from the right wing.
Our coverage of the game starts tonight at 6. We are your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12:02. I'm Jessica Ty. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, November 8th. Your top story and update just in on a hazmat situation.
I'm Adam Roberts, a Kenosha student charged with terroristic threats.
Today, mostly sunny and mild. We have a high of 58, and we're getting up there real close to it right now at 56. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 43 by the lake, 36 degrees inland. Tomorrow, increasing clouds and expect rain at the nighttime hours, high of 56. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Ty. An update on a hazmat situation at Milwaukee City Hall. A bubble-wrapped envelope was sent to the Milwaukee Election Commission this morning. When opened just before 9 o'clock, the contents inside were found to be covered in liquid. That's what prompted elections officials to contact local law enforcement to investigate. Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky.
We can find nothing that is dangerous or hazardous at this time, and that's excellent news.
No one was hurt. Milwaukee Election Commission Executive Director Paulina Gutierrez says the incident will delay certification of the ballots in the city. That will now take place on Monday at 8 a.m.
In Kenosha, a middle school student is facing a charge of making a terroristic threat. The 13-year-old suspect making an initial court appearance this morning after his arrest on Thursday. Detectives found several airsoft replica handguns and a replica rifle after he was arrested at home. The suspect had allegedly tried to enter Roosevelt Elementary School but was stopped by staff. He brought a suspicious bag carrying an alleged rifle with him before he fled the scene. Community tips helped to lead to the suspect's arrest.
A father charged with assaulting a Milwaukee public school teacher makes his first appearance in court. Eddie Caldwell is charged with felony battery to a school district officer and misdemeanor disorderly conduct. According to the criminal complaint, Caldwell hit a teacher in the head multiple times in front of her students on October 29th at Bruce Elementary School. Caldwell allegedly threatened the teacher, then pushed her against a wall. The teacher told police she recognized Caldwell as the dad of one of her students.
Funeral services today for late Milwaukee Alderman Jonathan Brostoff. Brostoff found dead at Greenfield Park from an apparent suicide last weekend. At UW Milwaukee this morning, Brostoff's friends focusing on what made him special.
What made John so special to me and to many people, he had so many ideas. He would get these visions on what would make the world better, and he would get us all to do them.
Flags are flying at half staff across Wisconsin today in Brostoff's honor. He had served as Milwaukee's 3rd District Alderman since 2022 after serving in the Wisconsin Assembly for 7 years.
Time for news about your money with the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. We're looking really good right now, and NASDAQ is looking better than it was at this time an hour ago. The Dow is up 267 points to 43,996. S&P 500 is up almost 25 points to 5,997, so close to 6,000 there. And the NASDAQ is up a quarter of a point to 19,269. It was down at this time an hour ago. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather coming up next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContractingWI.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? Tri-County Contracting at WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cold tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
Is thinning hair or receding hairline making you feel self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Time Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks break their losing streak. How about that? Beating the Jazz 123-100.
Andre Jackson Jr. ties his career high with 4 assists in his first start of the season. Just what head coach Doc Rivers has been looking for.
Playing kind of that connector role. I was wondering how important is it to have connectors when you have 2 top 10 scorers?
That was the other reason that went into starting him. I'm sitting there with my coach. I said, can I have one guy in the lineup that's not trying to score, but knows how to play and get to the right spot? And he did exactly that. He ended up scoring points, but he did it through being a connector. Most of the time, it was phenomenal.
At Fiserv Forum, Dylan Hunter Carter, WTMJ Sports.
The Bucks back in action tonight at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. Tip-off is at 6:30, and our coverage here on WTMJ starts at 6 p.m. By the way, the Packers and the Badgers have a bye this weekend.
Let's look at the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We've got an incident right now on 43 South, right in the Hale, from 894 West heading towards 43 South at Cold Spring. Looks like there's a vehicle crashed on the right shoulder. Looks like emergency response is on the scene right now, and it is out of the way of traffic. So as you head towards the Rock Freeway, you should be fine there. Elsewhere, slow right now, 94 South. It's now stretched north to about National Avenue, is going down to Oklahoma, running about 3 to 4 extra minutes behind on your ride from the Marquette down to the Mitchell. Also have an incident still working on a broken down vehicle on the ramp from North Avenue to 43 South. Looks like it's a semi-truck that's over there, and it's out of the way of traffic. 2 crashes earlier on 94 have been cleared up, as has a crash earlier on 4145 North near Pilgrim Road in Waukesha County, and the rest of the system looking okay at this hour.
This traffic report is brought to you by Harwood Place Retirement Living in Wauwatosa. Located in the heart of Wauwatosa, Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing are changing the face of how to live your golden years. Visit harwoodplace.org.
Here's your 5-day forecast today. Mostly sunny and mild, high of 58, and ding, 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 ding. You know what that means?
What does ding, 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 ding mean?
We're right there. We've hit our high, everybody.
Excellent.
It's 58. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 43 by the lake. We'll dip down to 36 degrees inland. Saturday, tomorrow, increasing clouds, rain at night, high of 56. Sunday, mostly cloudy. We do have another chance for rain on Sunday, breezy other than that, high of 60. Monday, partly cloudy, high of 58. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 53. It is currently 55 degrees in Port Washington, 59 now in Kenosha, and yes, 58 right here in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Ty, and in for Greg Metzik, it's Adam Roberts.
I feel like we could do another ding, 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 ding. You know why?
Why's that?
This one, because it's Friday.
Ding, 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 ding.
Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks for joining us for Wisconsin's Midday News. We have a lot coming up for you today, including we talk with a local woman who received one of the racist text messages that the FBI is now investigating. You'll hear her story. It's really sad to hear not only what she received, but how she's feeling about it, too. We'll also look ahead to the weekend, weather-wise, of course. And there's this story about a mysterious boat that's beached over by McKinley. Have you heard about this on the east side?
If this was happening at any other time than around election time, this would have people camped out. I would be sent there to do stand-ups from the boat. Yes, this is insane.
Well, it's kind of like this mystery boat. What's going on with it? Well, the U.S. Coast Guard is involved, and we're going to have the Coast Guard here to tell us what the real story is with this boat, how they're involved, and what's going to happen next.
Okay.
Right now, though, this.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Random, anonymous, and offensive text messages have landed in the phones of people in a dozen states this week. A Milwaukee woman tells us she's among them. I talked with Arjoy Perez this morning. She said she got a text from a number she doesn't know saying she had been selected to, quote, pick cotton. She told me as an African American, she is hurt and feels helpless.
At this point in my life, I'm kind of expecting it. Like I have little to no hope for the regeneration of this country.
Stay with us. Coming up later in the hour, we're going to hear more from her. She'll actually read the text, and there's something about her reading the text in her own words and just listening to exactly what it said. And right there, no hope. So I asked her specifically why. Why no hope? And you'll hear her answer coming up. Several federal agencies, including the Federal Communications Commission, the FBI, as I mentioned before, and the Justice Department are all investigating this.
Number 2, we're learning new details this afternoon on a thwarted potential school shooting situation had happened at Roosevelt Elementary School in Kenosha on Thursday. A news release was sent to WTMJ just this morning. In it, the suspect, a 13-year-old male student at Mahone Middle School, was interviewed by authorities, and a search of the suspect's home where they were arrested was conducted. During that search, it was determined no real firearms were located, though several airsoft replica handguns, the ones that have the orange tip on the end, were located, as well as a replica rifle. The suspect had claimed to have gone to school to sell candy when initially interviewed by investigators. Then with social workers, he later told them he went to school, quote, with the intent to scare students. The suspect had tried to enter the school through a front entrance before trying to open several locked doors, which authorities say is because of the age of the school. It was built during a time when you needed doors to have fire exits, as many as possible, and wasn't built with modern issues that schools face in hand. Then the boy fled and was ultimately arrested before the school day was over. There are no classes today for kids at Roosevelt Elementary. However, that was a previously scheduled staff day off.
President-elect Donald Trump announcing campaign manager Susie Wiles will be his chief of staff. She is the first woman in this job. ABC's Rachel Scott reports from West Palm Beach.
Wiles, the daughter of NFL player and sportscaster Pat Summerall, has been a powerful GOP advisor for years, credited with helping getting Florida Republicans like Senator Rick Scott and Governor Ron DeSantis elected in 2018. DeSantis fired her, and she would later go on to lead Trump's campaign to defeat him in the primary. Wiles is known for running a tight ship, staying out of the spotlight, striking a balance of letting Trump be Trump, but steering the campaign back to focus on the issues: economy, inflation, and immigration.
That's a job that is critical to the success of Trump's next White House bid.
And I'm assuming that he's probably quite happy to be the one to say, hey, I put the first woman into this position. That's probably, in his mind, a PR move as he begins his administration lineup as they pick out the staffers that will accompany him to the White House in January.
And interesting, too, because she really kind of stays behind the scenes. A lot of people didn't realize who she was, didn't realize who her family is. Now we're getting more details and finding out a little bit more about her.
And that's important. If you're going to be the chief of staff, you're going to be a front-facing individual. You're going to be expected to do a lot of talking on behalf of the president, so that's not a small order.
Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is coming up on 12:15. Up next, a big development with the domes. This is a good one, everybody. Which dome is your favorite? It's 12:15.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
Planning for retirement is like planning a road trip. You wouldn't start a long journey without a map, right? The same goes for your financial future. Every retirement plan needs the right tools. Social Security is one of those critical tools. But did you know when and how you claim your benefits can dramatically affect your retirement income? At Drake & Associates, we'll help you navigate the twists and turns of Social Security. Our team can guide you on when to start collecting benefits to maximize your income. Don't leave your retirement journey to chance. Call us or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's SS to 414-409-9982. Let us help you map out a secure and enjoyable retirement.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Elmbrook Family Dental, a great dental team from right here in Wisconsin. Dr. Eric is great. He's born and raised in Elm Grove, and he's the expert when it comes to cosmetic work with Invisalign. Dr. Eric's used Invisalign himself. He knows that would help him treat patients. He can help walk you through the process. The website is elmbrookfamilydental.com. 3 locations, 2 in Brookfield and a brand new spot in Wauwatosa. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
High of 58 degrees in Milwaukee today, and guess what? We're there. We're at the high, everybody. Enjoy it. A big development for the beloved domes in Milwaukee County. The County Board of Supervisors approved money to help preserve the Mitchell Park domes. The executive director of the Friends of the Domes, Krista Beal Diefenbach, joins us. This is a huge development, and the vote, Krista, was unanimous.
Right.
Were you surprised by that?
Honestly, I was. And as a pretty, I can't get much more of an insider than I am, right? But I was so pleased. And it just shows the momentum that this project truly has.
So let's get people up to date here, because this is the reimagined project. What does this new project include that you just got the big go-ahead for?
So we like to say that we're not just putting the domes back the way they were. So it is restoration, but it's restoration plus. So that's that reimagined piece. And it really is addressing the facility limitations, those limitations that have really impeded our ability to create a sustainable business model. So by addressing what's limiting our revenue, then we're able to create that sustainable business model and permanently remove the domes from the county's ledger. So, the county has had to cover the deficit budget for decades, and that won't be the case moving forward.
When it comes to the unanimous vote, do you think that point you just made, removing the domes from the financial ledger, ultimately was the deciding move that made it from a maybe 50-50 to, hey, we're all on board with this?
Honestly, I think the county supervisors right now, this class of supervisors, is definitely looking for creative solutions for all of the cultural assets that exist within the county's domain. We're one of many that have really struggled. And so, the fact that we came with a solution, it's very well vetted. I mean, we're coming with an entire team of experts who have done a thorough analysis, and it's a great plan. So, yeah, it made a lot of sense, and I think that's why we got the vote.
So when you take away the limitations with this new plan and you close your eyes and you visualize what you want the domes to be and what this plan is, what will it look like?
Absolutely. So it really gets at two things. I say that this plan addresses two objectives. One is to create an amazing visitor experience. So all of those amenities, we'll have an interactive children's garden, for example, which right now, we know that even though we're one of the most popular places for families to go, we're kind of a no space for kids. Don't touch, don't run, don't do this. But this is going to be, we'll have this amazing garden where they'll get to go in and dig into their love of nature, and it's going to be a yes space. So, it's solving those kinds of challenges. Families need some place to bring their kids during the cold winter months, and we're going to be that.
You said dig in, so I'm almost picturing kids like digging into the dirt and then running with the butterflies. So what does that really mean? Because you're right, when it comes to anything being interactive, whether it's a museum or the domes, that matters in 2024 and beyond.
Absolutely. So, right now we don't have everything figured out in terms of the children's garden, but what we do know is that there'll be an accessible play area. So kind of a jungle gym type area that you can climb into, and it will of course be nature themed. We'll also have gardens in there, as well as if you guys haven't seen this fourth dome that's tucked behind the three others, it's kind of sits on this perch and it has this beautiful view of the Menominee Valley, and you also get to look up and see the other domes. It's a magical space. So you have this beautiful view. You're going to have nature themed activities. And, that'll be just an opportunity for parents to go and have an espresso and let their kids, play and have fun and appreciate nature.
I'm going to be honest, I always thought that fourth dome was just a storage greenhouse. I never really thought much of it, Krista. And something else I was curious about, we're talking a lot about the domes and specifically the domes project, but the domes sit on a pretty large plot of land known as Mitchell Park. It's a lot of green space. If you drive by it, many people, myself included, have wondered, there's so much space here. And in the past, there was so much going on at the park. We've seen old pictures from the 50s and the 60s when there was beautiful floral landscapes that were set there. How can this project maybe be used as a jumping point potentially for rethinking the park as a whole?
Yes, well, that is absolutely the plan. So that's one of the things that we were relentless about, is that this plan has to address Mitchell Park more broadly. Just as you said, there used to be, this really tight connection between the park and the conservatory. So this is actually the second conservatory in Mitchell Park. There is another public one called the Mitchell Conservatory. that existed in about the same space as our current location. But, there was this deep connection to the park, and we lost that over the years. And so part of that is we're going to bring that back. So, to your point about that, the fourth dome, it is a growing greenhouse. So it's what we consider a back of house space right now, but it's there and it's kind of in the midst of all the other domes. It's perfectly located to become an interactive children's area. And so that's going to be that piece of it. But then we're also going to be putting in a nature learning center into the park itself, as well as what I call the Sunken Gardens 2.0, right? So the Sunken Gardens that used to be there aren't going to be there quite in the same format. However, we're going to have these amazing stormwater gardens that will lean into Wisconsin natives. And so right now it's just kind of a swampy part of the park, but it's going to be this beautiful, garden that people can walk in and enjoy and will be open to the public.
So what is next? Because this isn't technically the last thing, even though it's a major step forward, a big development. But what's next?
Absolutely. So, we have a complex capital stack that's part of the solution for this project. And so it's $134 million. The $30 million commitment from the county is instrumental, and we're so appreciative of that. But then there's a lot of other elements that we're bringing to the table as well. But we have been working in earnest at securing all of that. We've been working now for years in terms of our capital campaign when it comes to Wisconsin philanthropy. Also, looking at federal and state programs. We're actually submitting for a very large federal grant right now. So all of those pieces are in place, and that's when we think what's next is just continuing to forge forward.
It's got to feel so good after, kind of saying ultimately, and I think you used the word in the past as well, that the domes were in a crisis. Mm-hmm. So to go from that, to go from where you are today, it's just got to feel so good to think forward and ahead.
Absolutely, it is. And, to me, what's so exciting is just the response that we've received from the community. The community, you use the word beloved, and the community does love our facility. They love having this horticultural oasis nestled on the south side of Milwaukee. And, I think that if I think of this as a win, yes, we're excited and we take this as a win, but it's really a win for the community.
Okay, real quickly here. You noted that the reason we love the domes changes from person to person. That's something that you've said. So I'm kind of curious. What is your love for the domes? And do you have a favorite dome, or is that like asking what your favorite child is?
I definitely have a favorite dome. That is the Desert Dome. And the reason why is that I love desert plants. They just speak to me. Their adaptive nature, right? Like they are resilient. They are tough. My sister lives in the desert, and she threw some prickly pear cactus out she was just throwing it away. Oh. Went back there, a few weeks later, and there it's growing. It just took root, and they're tough, right? And I love resiliency in nature. So Desert Dome for sure. And in terms of, why I love the domes, it's truly the marrying of all of my great loves in life. My family, of course, and they love the domes, and it's a place that we can go together. It's also connection to nature. I'm a plant person. I've got 50 houseplants.
Oh, wow.
I know.
And then there's people listening right now who are like, I can't even, whoa, there goes my microphone. I can't even keep one plant alive. You've got 50.
And, I love mid-century architecture. So it truly is the marrying of all my great loves.
Adam, yours, real quickly.
It's a tropical dome for me. My wife has brought out a love of colors, and so I love different flowers. Selfishly, I kind of wish there was a Japanese garden, because that's my favorite style of garden, but tropical garden, number one for me, unless the train show is in the show dome, and then it's the show dome.
That's great. I love the tropical one, too. I love the colors. I love the smells of it, and kind of jumping in the jungle and some of the stories about coffee and coffee beans, and they're lovely, and they are beloved. And so this is a big deal, a big movement forward, and we're excited for you. So keep us posted, Krista.
Will do. Thank you so much.
That is Krista Beal-Diefenbach, Executive Director of the Friends of the Domes. Saudi Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:26.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Hey, it's 620 WTMJ's Kristen Bry. I officially have a new dentist. I just had my first cleaning and checkup with Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care, and I can't say enough about him and his awesome staff. Do you want your best smile for all those holiday family photos that are coming up? Have you not been to the dentist in a while? Do you have a fear of going to the dentist? Whatever reason you have for needing a new dentist, I am here to tell you to go see Dr. Michaels. He understands your apprehension about going to the dentist and will get you on the best care plan to get you confident about your smile. Whether you need a simple cleaning and exam, a teeth whitening, a more complex dental procedure, or even an implant for missing teeth, Economwalk Dental will always make you feel as comfortable as possible and give you and your family an amazing smile. Are you worried about cost? At Economwalk Dental Care, affordable quality dentistry is no longer a dream. It's the reality. Dr. Michael's fantastic staff can help you out with a no-interest payment plan. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Call and make an appointment today. You deserve to feel confident about your smile, so go see my new dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care.
Now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Siding is what pops on your home. Clean lines, beautiful accents, and wonderful colors can make your home really look amazing. Homeowners are always looking to add curb appeal when buying new siding, and a well-installed product from Siding Unlimited will definitely deliver a grand appeal. There is so much more to gain from replacing your siding other than the curb appeal you're already seeking. There is so much value in having new siding with low maintenance. Just an annual cleaning with the hose is all you really need to do. You can't get much lower maintenance than that. The process of replacing siding gives homeowners a fresh start, a new understanding knowing that we can peel back the old stuff and get a real in-depth inspection on the walls on your home and the structural integrity. How has the home performed over the past 20 years? We'll see it all when removing the old siding. There's a high percentage your home is missing the most important factor in siding a home, and that's a working water barrier. Many homes built in the 1990s and prior don't have a water barrier beneath the siding, and homes that were built in the 90s that do have one probably have a water barrier that was installed incorrectly. New siding replacement assures us that we install the water barrier correctly and protect the home moving forward. Our process always includes adding insulation board to the wall. This gives you a water barrier underlayment and additional R value, which is an energy coefficient, so warmer walls, adding more value to the project than the expected curb appeal. As the new siding goes back on, we know your home will be ready to manage water well into the future and look amazing doing so.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for siding and also replacement windows, roofing, and decks. Take the next step. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
It is 12:30. I'm Jessica Ty. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, November 8th. Your top story, an odd piece of mail prompts a hazmat response.
I'm Adam Roberts. Confidence from Wisconsin's Assembly Speaker.
Mostly sunny and mild today. We have a high of 58 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear. We'll dip down to 43 degrees by the lake, 36 inland. Tomorrow, increasing clouds and showers, rainstorms at night, high of 56. It's currently 58 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we now know what prompted a hazmat response at the Milwaukee Elections Commission. A bubble-wrapped envelope and the contents inside covered in liquid. Turns out, though, it was not hazardous.
According to Chief Lipsky, earlier this morning, the Milwaukee Elections Commission received a suspicious package from a foreign address. According to Paulina Gutierrez from the Elections Commission, the contents of the package seemed wet, which responded in an emergency response. And at this time, there is no significant hazard to city officials. An investigation is ongoing as to what the substance is in the envelope. Business at City Hall is back to normal. Reporting live from Milwaukee City Hall, Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
The incident, the second to prompt a hazmat response in the city in under a week, and cybersecurity experts on high alert following Tuesday's election. Generac VP of Cybersecurity William Cummings telling WTMJ it's not about who's in office that makes us susceptible to cyber attacks, but the transition of power in and of itself that makes us more susceptible.
Look at the amount of connected devices on the internet, how we consume news cycles. It's ripe for misinformation and disinformation that comes in through other nation states such as, Russia or China, who are interested in undermining our elections and disrupting our processes.
Cummings says the best way to avoid a security breach is constant education and remaining vigilant in monitoring your email and text notifications.
The Justice Department charges 3 men in a plot to kill Americans, Israelis, and the president-elect, all of it funded by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
Federal prosecutors have charged a 51-year-old Iranian, a 49-year-old from Brooklyn, and a 36-year-old from Staten Island with plotting murder for hire. The Iranian suspect remains at large, but his 2 alleged co-conspirators are now in custody. Prosecutors say the Iranian, Farhad Shakeri, claimed he was tasked just last month with coming up with a plan to kill Donald Trump. Court documents say the would-be hitmen were also offered 6-figure sums for carrying out killings, including a $500,000 bounty on the heads of 2 Jewish Americans living in New York.
Shakeri remains in Iran.
Changes could be coming to absentee voting in Wisconsin. That, according to Assembly Speaker Robin Voss. He tells WTMJ absentee votes should be counted sooner during an election.
So I think this is one of those examples where common sense is going to prevail. We want to have election results quicker. So I think most Wisconsinites would say if we can do it in a way where there's clear chance to observe what's happening, which it would be, it's done in a way that's totally transparent, which it would be, why would we not do that?
Wisconsin is only one of 2 states, including Pennsylvania, that do not count absentee ballots before Election Day.
A middle school student faces 1 charge of making a terroristic threat in Kenosha. The 13-year-old boy made his initial appearance in court this morning after being arrested yesterday. The suspect allegedly tried to enter Roosevelt Elementary School around 9 a.m., but was stopped by staff after entering the school's secure vestibule. He claimed to have gone to the school to sell candy, later telling a social worker he wanted to scare students. The suspect ran off after being questioned by staff, who found him nervous, they said, and carrying 2 suspicious bags. Detectives found several airsoft replica handguns and a replica rifle after he was arrested at home. Classes are canceled at Roosevelt Elementary School today, but it was a day off that was previously scheduled as a staff day.
Sports, traffic, and weather on the way next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 12:35.
Call quality for the signature service you deserve.
For 60 years, we've been known as Quality Heating, offering the highest levels of HVAC expertise. But when I took over for Greg, I saw the potential to add services for all your home needs. We do heating and cooling so well, I figured, why not offer new trades to give all-around home service to our customers? So along with heating and cooling, we now offer top-flight plumbing and electric services. There's no subs here, and we all work under the quality code of taking pride in the Midwestern work ethic, and more importantly, Midwestern morals. You know, much of our trade has gone corporate with private equities, but we remain a family-owned company. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality, offering heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. For the signature service you deserve, call Quality.
Call quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality, now offering heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Let's get you some sports right now. A TMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Bucks broke their losing streak. It was so great to see the win last night, beating the Jazz 123-100.
Andre Jackson Jr. ties his career high with 4 assists in his first start of the season. Just what head coach Doc Rivers has been looking for.
Playing kind of that connector role. I was wondering how important is it to have connectors when you have 2 top 10 scorers?
That was the other reason that went into starting him. I was sitting there with my coach. I said, can I have one guy in the lineup that's not trying to score, but knows how to play and get to the right spot? And he did exactly that. He ended up scoring points, but he did it through being a connector. Most of the time, it was phenomenal.
At Fiserv Forum, Dylan Hunter Carter, WTMJ Sports.
The Bucks are back in action tonight at Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. Tip-off is at 6:30. Our coverage here on WTMJ starts at 6 p.m. And both the Packers and the Badgers have a bye this weekend.
Let's check the roads here. WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving, time saver traffic. Good news, everyone. We are incident-free at this hour. No incidents, no crashes, no broken down vehicles. We do have a couple of slow spots right now where vehicles are moving a little slow. 94 South, now stretching up towards National Avenue down to, looks like it was Oklahoma, now back up towards Cleveland. Running a little slow south as bumper to bumper is through there. Just a couple extra minutes, nothing major. Also a little slow 4145 south of the Fond du Lac Avenue split heading towards Milwaukee County, just north of Highway 175. Just a couple of extra minutes back there as well.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, mostly sunny and mild, high of 58. We're there. We hit our high. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 43 by the lake, and we'll dip down to 36 inland. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, rain at night, high of 56. Sunday, mostly cloudy, but we do have a chance for rain on Sunday, breezy otherwise, high of 60. Monday, partly cloudy, high of 58. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 53. Okay, have you heard about this mysterious boat that's beached close to Bradford, over in the McKinley area?
Yeah, it's
on the east side of Milwaukee.
I believe it is Bradford, or just north of that, I believe. It's in that area.
So it's this nice boat.
It's a nice boat.
It's been there for weeks, almost a month now. So many people are wondering, what is the story with this boat? Well, we're going to find out right now. We've got Lieutenant Joe Neff from the U.S. Coast Guard with us, Sector Lake Michigan. Thanks for joining us, Lieutenant.
Oh, thanks for having me this morning.
So what is the deal with this boat? Did somebody abandon it? Did it run out of gas? Do the people want it back? What's going on?
Yeah, so the beginning of October, the owner of this boat ran out of gas. Luckily for him, he was close enough to shore, so they were able to get off the boat. However, we had a couple days of bad weather. So the boat just beat up against rocks a little bit. It did take some damage, which is now has it settled there in that soft sand in that spot there in McKinley.
So basically, the reason that it's still there is because the guy ran out of gas, and then now he can't get it out because it is ultimately beached in that sand?
So right now it's sitting pretty firm in the sand. The boat's not going anywhere, but he has contracted a salvage company that's making plans right now to go out there and get that boat. But again, the weather and the sea state has impacted some of those plans, so we're continuing to monitor.
So how do you guys get involved? How does the Coast Guard get involved in this?
So I personally got involved with it from the pollution aspect. So anytime something like this happens, we get notified, make sure there's no pollution impact to the environment on Lake Michigan, and then we go from there. The owner did the right thing, contacted Commercial Salvage to try to get his boat.
So, Lieutenant,
I got a question.
I got a question for you, because a lot of people have it's sort of become I don't want to call it a pilgrimage site, but people are going to this, taking pictures, and I don't want to self-incriminate anyone, but people have been trying to venture towards the boat. Is that an absolute no-no? Do we need to keep that area free of people, whether it's for investigative purposes or just safety?
So really for safety, we want to make sure that if you're going down there to take pictures, be careful on those rocks. Some of those rocks are loose, and please do not put yourself in the water and try to get on this boat. We don't want you to potentially put yourself in harm trying to get on that boat.
Yeah, I think somebody put an "I closed Wolski's" sticker on it at this point. You're not supposed to do things like that.
No.
But there it is. You were kind of laughing. Have you ever closed Wolski's, Lieutenant?
I was not aware that they had put a sticker on it, but That's interesting.
I just find the weirdest places. I swear there's a bar maybe in Liechtenstein or somewhere in Mongolia where you'll just find out, oh, well, apparently this person closed Walski's too.
Yeah, it is a phenomenon in Milwaukee. So what's next? Do we know, as far as I know, the weather, basically you've got high winds and then the waves out there has delayed this process. Do we have a date?
So right now, no confirmed date. Again, waiting for the sea state to settle down in the wind state to help out. And I know that there's even talks that possibly trying to get a crane out there to possibly have to pick this thing up with how so far in the sand it is right now.
So this is intense and I imagine very costly too.
It'll be a little costly. But again, the owner is responsible and doing the right thing and making those arrangements.
You mentioned you got involved initially because of the threat of pollution. So the guy runs out of gas, so you don't have to worry about that, I would imagine. But what are some of the other things that you might have to worry about? And of course, you'd have to confirm that you didn't have any gas spillage.
Yep. So in cases like this, the Coast Guard gets notified. We speak to the owners. We do our investigation. Just confirm what kind of products are on the boat, how much fuel is on board. In this case, again, he ran out of gas, so the threat of pollution is very minor in this case.
That's good. As long as we have you, I'm curious as to your work outside of this boat that's been beached. Obviously, you guys have a lot of important work that you do, including recently when the presidential candidates were in town. What was your role in that, and how did it all go?
Yeah, so, Sector Lake, Michigan worked very closely with Station Milwaukee and our local partners here, Milwaukee Fire, Sheriff, Police, Harbor Patrol, Wisconsin DNR, setting up those security zones on the Milwaukee River and Milwaukee Harbor while we had the RNC in town. And then anytime a candidate rolled in for a rally or a speech, we would set up security zones around the river and really appreciate our local partners helping us.
You guys have boats out, but also one of the helicopters I think that was going around my house all the time was from the Coast Guard. Is that right?
That's correct. We did have a helicopter out there.
Did everything go smooth? Is there anything that happened now that it's all said and done and we all stayed safe? Anything that happened that you could tell us about that people might not realize?
No, we really appreciate the public listening to our broadcast, listening to those security zones, not going into those spaces. It really helped us out and it was greatly appreciated.
Safe to say this was probably one of the busier years for the Lake Michigan shore around Milwaukee, at least. Is it safe to say?
Yep, it was absolutely busy. Coast Guard Sector Lake Michigan is responsible for both Chicago and Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. So we did both security zones for the RNC and DNC this year.
Busy. So what's next?
So right now the boating season has come to a close. So we start going into that cold weather and cold water awareness. You just want to make sure people are out there checking the weather, checking your ice conditions, wear your life jackets, and go out there with somebody, tell your loved ones where you're going to go fishing, when you plan on coming back, and just be safe out there this winter.
Great information. Thank you so much. That's Lieutenant Joe Neff, Public Affairs Officer for the U.S. Coast Guard, Sector Lake Michigan. We appreciate your time today, Lieutenant.
Thank you very much for having me.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:44.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment and National Fire Sprinkler Association. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Rose and Roses Spas, Hot Tubs, Cold Tubs, and Swim Spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
As you age, you start noticing pain in your joints that didn't used to be there. But you don't have to live in pain. When joint pain becomes a reality, schedule your free pain evaluation with Rejuvenex. We'll find where your pain lives and inject powerful, FDA-approved medicines that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. While treatments like stem cells can cost close to $10,000 per joint, at Rejuvenex, the cost for your injection can be as low as $65, and almost all major insurance plans cover our treatments, so you may not have to pay anything at all. Call us now to schedule your free pain evaluation, because I'm pretty sure we can help you. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie. An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast from Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore. Mostly sunny today. That is not going to change this afternoon. The high was forecasted at 58. Right now, Jessica, I have us at 59. So the sun actually going to flirt with 60 degrees today. Maybe jump the gun on 58. Well, anyways, light jacket weather today. Clear tonight, 43 near the lake, about 36 inland. We'll see clouds increase tomorrow. There's a chance for showers late Saturday with a high of 56. More rain possible early Sunday, a high of 60. Cloudy 58 Monday. More sun on Tuesday and a high of 53. And again, right now in Milwaukee, sunny skies and 59 at 12:48.
So I want to get you some more details on the story we told you about at the start of Wisconsin's Midday News. A local woman says she received one of the racist text messages being investigated by the FBI. Right now, federal law enforcement and intelligence agencies are looking for the source of these racist messages. They were sent to people across the country, about a dozen states at this point, and we might find out even more as the days go on here. Arjoy Perez in Milwaukee says she got one yesterday.
Said, "Good morning, Arjoy Perez. Our 2024 presidential-elect Donald J. Trump has scheduled you for the weekend cotton picking shift from 11/9/24 to 11/10/24. From 12 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at Plantation A. Be prepared and ready to pick diligently." That was like cotton picking.
Right? I mean, imagine. You're getting bombarded with texts. I talked with her this morning. That's what I said. This whole week and, the last few weeks and months, we've been getting bombarded with texts with the election. So you pick up your phone, you're expecting to maybe get a political text or maybe a text from your friends or family, and you see that. I asked her, I said, who did the text come from? Can you see the number? Is it like a weird number? Does it look like a normal number? What is it? So she said, you know what, let me actually go back to it. So she grabbed her phone. She went back to it, and it's a 510 area code. I looked that up. That's California. There's a company called Text Now that allows people to create phone numbers for free. It is aware of these messages and says it shut down the accounts of those involved. But, people in more than a dozen states, including kids, got these messages.
And we've seen situations like this before. These services are used a lot when swatting incidents happen. We saw earlier this year here in southeast Wisconsin, there was a day, I believe, earlier this year where dozens of schools were targeted, and these services can make that possible. It's just getting so much easier for people who want to spread hate or fear to do so.
Yeah, it's just terrible. So there she is ultimately reading the text she got. But I asked her how she felt about it. As soon as she read that text message, how was she feeling?
I'm a little hurt, but at this point in my life, I'm kind of expecting it. Like I have little to no hope for the regeneration of this country.
Why? Why no hope?
Because when I put my energy and time into trying to do better, it's kind of like I get a slap in the face. So from being slapped in the face so many times, I'm kind of just tired of it.
Tough. It's hard to hear. Imagine how she's feeling. And you've got people across the country who have received these text messages who are feeling very similar.
And especially you mentioned, Jessica, that there were children that were also targeted with this. Imagine being a parent when you're already so meticulous about, as many parents are, what goes through my child's phone, if I even let them have one. And then you have this sort of self-fulfilling thing where you have to explain to your child why they got a message with these horrible things sent directly to them, because they have no idea that it's just a random person thousands of miles away. For all they know, it was someone that they knew that they just didn't know the number of.
Random, anonymous, and offensive text messages landing in the phones of people across the country right now. And a Milwaukee woman tells WTMJ that she was among them. Sounding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:52.
The Upswing is your place for commerce and community.
Can it be a little hard to be a parent and a coach at the same time? I'm asking for a friend myself.
Hosted by Jeff Sherman.
I find myself, especially at basketball games with my children, literally sitting and physically putting my hand over my mouth.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one? The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one. The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection. You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love. Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees. The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. It's Friday, which means it's time for Stories of the Strange on Wisconsin's Midday News.
It is Friday on Wisconsin's Midday News. Adam Roberts filling in for Greg Matzik alongside Jessica Ty. And on Friday, in addition to Week in Review, we do Stories of the Strange on Wisconsin's Midday News. And if there was a week that is rife with strange, odd, interesting, wacky, stories, this would be the week for it. I'm going to start, Jessica, on Wisconsin's Morning News, where I usually find myself alongside Vince Vitrano and Eric Bilstead. There's a saying that we have on the team, and that is, hold everything if we get a story about animals on the loose.
Got one.
We had elephants earlier this year. We've had, I believe, a giraffe at some point. And now, not one monkey, not two monkeys, but 43 monkeys are on the loose in the low country of South Carolina. And residents there are being told, lock your windows, lock your doors. More from Jim Krasula, CBS.
Animal experts have spotted and are now trying to capture 43 monkeys that escaped from a facility used for medical research. The escapade has been the talk of Yemassee, South Carolina. Jay Cook owns a car repair shop in the town of 1000, just off I-95 outside Beaufort, South Carolina.
Somebody must have left the door open or something. I don't know, but everybody in Yemassee's been talking about it pretty much all day today.
Local authorities say the monkeys on the loose pose no threat to people, although residents have been told to stay indoors. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
So this is a true story, Jessica. You mentioned I have a new bike. The reason I have a new bike is because my new mother-in-law accidentally left our garage door open when she was coming for our wedding about a month ago.
Shoot.
And so someone just walked in and took this out. So the first thing I think of is someone at that research facility might not have a job right now.
Yeah. Who let the monkeys out? And don't let the monkeys in.
Who?
Yeah.
That's what I did there.
Don't let the monkeys in. Woo! 43 monkeys on the loose.
43 monkeys. Now, again, they say the monkeys pose no threat. I don't know, man. If I'm walking to work or I'm riding my bike and I see suddenly 43 monkeys just staring at me.
Well, if they're all coming at you, if all 43 are coming at you, I'm running.
Yeah, can I be one monkey
That's a
in a
threat
fight?
to me.
Yes, 43, all coordinated. No thanks.
Maybe not one. There were so many good stories with the Strange this week as I was just kind of doing my research throughout the week and reading as I normally do. I get up in the morning before I even put my glasses on. I got my phone. I'm reading the stories. I saw like 3 stories. I kind of knew what I was going to do, but then boom, last night, I see something about fatbergs. The headline says fatbergs. They're turning up on a Sydney beach. I'm like, what the heck are fatbergs?
You're not saying fat birds, right? Fat
Bergs.
Okay.
With a G. Fatbergs. Never heard of it before. Didn't know what it was. Kind of wish I didn't now. Now I'm going to share it because this is bizarre. So all these black balls were showing up on this beach in Sydney. They're actually mini fatbergs. So what is a fatberg? Oof. It's made up of human feces, methamphetamine, human hair, fatty acids, and food waste, among hundreds of other vile and befuddling substances. They smell absolutely disgusting.
I can imagine.
I mean, apparently worse than anything you've ever smelled before. And this was really a mystery, but it turns out it's just it's all this stuff in the sewage that was accumulating. And then it ended up in the water and ended up in the beach, and there you have it.
So this wasn't like someone in their basement coordinating and then releasing toxic waste into the ocean. It's just a culmination of things?
Yeah, these balls, they're consistent with fatbergs, that they're just like these masses of fats, oils, and greasy molecules that can accumulate in the sewage. So think of everything that can turn up. I guess it all just kind of spins around at some point, creates a ball, and there you have a big black ball and fatberg. Now you know. The more you know.
We have the floating island of garbage. I would hate to walk across the floating island of fatbergs.
Don't want to swim with those. Happy Friday, everybody. Have a fabulous weekend. I'll have your local news next. And then after that, it's Spanning the State.
Libby Collins here from my friends at Seniors Helping Seniors of Waukesha. They know maintaining independence is one of the greatest concerns for seniors, and that's why for over a decade, they've been serving southeastern Wisconsin